Hey guys, it's kind of a slow week in Brave Exvius this week, so I figured in order to make it interesting, let's show a preview for a fight which may or may not be coming to Global. This is going to be the Season 2 series boss battle for Brave Exvius against Vlad the Emperor. We haven't been getting series boss battles on Global in a really long time. It seems kind of like Gumi just canceled them entirely. You know, we don't know what's going on. We're like 4 or 5 behind at this point. But JP got this fight for their anniversary. Our anniversary is coming up next week, so maybe they're going to skip ahead to this one. Who knows? But to make it more interesting, I'm going to also be showing a preview of some new units coming to Global really soon, which is Class 0 Ace and Beloved Girl Rim, also known as CG Ace. This is the Type 0 banner. It's coming probably next month. So we're going to use Ace as our DPS, and we're going to use Rim as our healer for this fight, just to make it, slightly more entertaining. So for this fight, we're going to use Cecil to cover magic. He's got high spirit and hit points, and the whole team wants confusion immunity. Now we gave him a fire weapon. This is because later in the fight, you've got to hit the boss with fire and ice every single turn to break his shield. So Cecil is going to be one of the sources of fire damage for us. Beloved Girl Rim is going to be our healer. Now, she's primarily a DPS unit, but she does have the full healing support kit. She's got Curasia, she's got Re-Raise, Full Life. We gave her Dispel. She's got some other abilities like 50% general mitigation, etc. So she's going to be our healer. But also, she's got the fire skill in her kit, so she can seal fire at the same time as healing if need be. So we just gave her some spirit. We're going to use Luna Freya for the magical mitigation. There is a lot of magic attacks that bypass cover, so we're going to use her to give the whole team good, magic mitigation. That's about it. We're going to use Riku for Mirage. Now, she is only for Mirage. This boss is completely immune to all breaks. And the reason I chose Riku is because she can Mirage every turn, but also she can fill the limit gauge, she can heal the team if need be, she can re-raise, that kind of stuff. And we gave her a passive provoke evasion. She's also going to be our provoke tank. Now, Mirage is for the physical attack that goes off. It's only one physical attack AoE every 4 turns. So you can even just not even do Mirage. It's a dark element attack, so you could use Dark Resist instead. But Mirage is a little bit easier. And for the DPS, we're going to use Ace, Class 0 Ace. He is a pretty good mage. He's one of those physical scaling mages where his attacks are physical type, so they use physical killers, kind of like Zwan Wu on Global or Chocobo Fina, etc. Now, the cool thing about Ace is he has really high magic. He's got 3,800 magic in this gear I gave him. Now, this gear is really good, to be fair. It's got the level 3 or the level 10 Dark Vision's Rod, etc. But he also has a lot of innate demon and machine killer. So he's got 275% demon killer in this build with 3,800 magic. So he's pretty good. Oh, and he can imbue ice to himself among other elements. So he's going to be sealing ice every turn, while either Cecil or Rim will be sealing fire every turn. And then Itsuki built me an ace as well. A little bit less magic and hit points, but he's still looking pretty good. And I think he's got the same demon killer as me. Yep, 275 demon killer, which is just putting him on Diablos, because he's got 150 demon killer naturally, and Diablos gives 125 because Ace uses the physical killer of Diablos. So the first turn on the boss, he's not going to do anything. He doesn't ambush. So we're just going to go ahead and set up. Like I said, you cannot break this boss, so breaking him is pointless with Riku. And we don't need Mirage yet, so we'll just have Riku just double fill limit gauge. Cecil is going to cover magic, and we're going to do, I guess we're going to change stance as well. Alright, Luna Freya will give us magic mitigation and, what else do we need? Nothing really. Regeneration. And we'll use Rem to, let's see here, triple cast. We'll have Rem do a mitigation buff on the team. That's a 50% general mitigation, which is awesome. And it doesn't really matter what else she does. She'll just hit the boss twice with fire. We don't need to hit with fire and ice yet. That only needs to happen later. Alright, Ace is going to imbue ice, do his magic boost, and we're going to start chaining. Now, Ace has 5 different kinds of chains. This one in the top right, this group 4 chain, this applies like status effects and such, and as it unlocks, it does more status effects, but it's pretty pointless. You never use that one. This one is the Imperil. This is its best chain. This imperils by 120% to fire, ice, and lightning, and it boosts up to a 45 times multiplier per cast. This one is the same thing, but it's a different chain family. The first one is Chaos Wave Awaken. The second one is Bolting Strike. Alright, and this chain is his re-raise chain. It applies re-raise to the whole team every single turn. And this one applies mana regen to the team every single turn. Ace also has Thunder and Ice Imbue. He's got a chain that applies Mirage to the team every turn. And he's got a chain that applies Nethicite, which absorbs the next spell every single turn. So Ace has just tons of utility. He can also sacrifice himself to fill the Esper bar, but for obvious reasons, we don't want to do that because that would kill him. Alright, so, like I said, we're going to just imbue Ace with Ice, power his magic up, and then we're going to start chaining his good chain. I could use Ace's re-raise chain and all for safety, but we're not going to need it on this fight. Alright, so this fight is pretty easy, as you see. The boss is dropping really fast. Alright, so here's the AoE attacks. Cecil's covering. There's the confusion, but we're immune to it. Now, the boss has a gimmick where he buffs himself, and you can prevent this. I'm not even going to go over how to prevent it because it's pretty irrelevant. It's something you would never do. If you have a one-man team on here, he wouldn't buff himself, but no one's ever going to come in here with a one-man team. But anyway, so there's the boss. The boss is going to do a physical AoE on turn 4, which we could Mirage. I guess Ace is just super overkill for this fight, and we're not even going to see turn 4 before the next phase begins. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to have Rem just dispel the enemy. Why can't I dual cast? Oh, here it is. Let's dual cast a spell, and let's heal. Actually, I'm going to hit the boss with fire. You don't need to hit the boss with fire yet, but I'm going to do it anyway just because. So we dispel the boss's barrier. See these 25 turn buffs? That's the turn limit to win. Once those buffs fade on turn 25, the boss does a guaranteed kill on everyone. That's just game over. It's kind of like when the demon wall reaches your team. As you can see, he's not very tanky, so you're not going to see turn 25 anyway. So it's pretty irrelevant. Alright, now Ace's chains, every time you use them, they unlock a higher tier until, I think his final tier is tier 5. So his higher chains are unlocked now, so we're going to go ahead and start using this one. He's still imbued with ice. We hit the boss with fire, now we hit him with ice, and Ace's chains re-imperil every single turn, so that's super awesome. Alright, so now the boss is below 50, we're going to start with the next phase. Riku really has no purpose here almost. I guess Cecil can LB and Lunafreya can LB for stat buff, you know, whatever. Alright, so now the boss is going to put up a shield. Now to drop this shield, you've got to hit him with fire and ice for 2 turns in a row. In the 3rd turn, the shield will be broken. So here's his shield. You can't hurt him while the shield is up. And he does some AoE magic. Some of it bypasses cover, some of it doesn't. This is the reason we brought Lunafreya. So there's the first one. Pretty painful, as you saw on Cecil. He got hit really hard. Like, his stats are super good. And he still took 12,000 damage, which is 2/3 of his life. And then the one attack bypass covered hit the whole team. That's the reason we brought Lunafreya, for that good magical mitigation. Like, Cecil's got 2,500 spirit, and it hit him pretty hard. So, you know, it's, oh, actually, Cecil wasn't changing stance, so it would have hit him less if he was doing his stance thing. But whatever. But now we're going to use Rem. Like I said, we brought Rem for this reason. She can dual cast a Curagia and a fire attack. So that hits the boss with fire. We can't hurt the boss this turn, so we'll just re-imbue and double chain. The chaining doesn't even matter, so we'll just re-imbue, and like, we can't hurt him. He's immune to damage completely. But using the elements still counts. Riku is a completely dead slot. Like, I brought her for the Mirage on turn 4, and the AoE physical only happens above 50%. So yeah, Riku was irrelevant on this clear. But if your clear takes too long, then Riku would have done something. So we'll just cover and change stance, you know, whatever. So we hit him with fire, we hit him with ice. The shield has been weakened. He does some attacks. They're miraged with, or they're evaded by the provoke tank. Cecil's now changing stance, so he has a 75% damage mitigation, so he took a lot less damage. And the boss did not ignore cover that turn. Alright. So I think now we're at the point where Ace's chain is at the max level. We'll go ahead and ice, rebuff his magic, and chain, because next turn we can hurt the boss. So we're going to, let's see, imbue ice, rebuff his magic, and just hit the chain. Riku, whatever, Cecil, whatever. Let's see, Rem will hit with fire, and Curaja, and Luna Freya. Doesn't really have anything to do. She'll just keep regeneration and magic mitigation going. Alright, so now the boss's shield's going to go away. Now we can hurt him. There's the shield. It's been broken. He does some attacks, blah blah, doesn't really care. We've got a good magic tank. It's painful on Cecil. Yeah, you really want a high spirit magic tank for this. And don't forget that turn Cecil was not using his stance chain, so he only had 50% mitigation, not 75%. But he still survived just fine. Well, he survived. I wouldn't say it was just fine, but he did survive. Alright, so the boss's shield is gone. It's only gone for one turn. So if you're using burst DPS, you want to time it so their burst lands on this, because next turn the shield will go back up for 2 more turns. But we've got Ace, who's going to chain twice, and we're going to use his cooldown chain, which does even more damage. His cooldown chain can be done every 4 turns. It's like a 60 times modifier or something. It's decent. Alright, yeah, let's just chain. We might even win here, potentially. Well, we did. Okay, so, I mean, as you can see, the series boss battles are a total joke, which is probably the reason Global just canceled them, because they're completely pointless. They're dramatically easy. But there we go. So Ace is a really high DPS mage. He can use any element. If you imbue him with other elements, you can use any element, or you could give him an elemental weapon. It's not really the best choice, because elemental weapons for magic stat are not very common. Imbues are best for him. He can imbue ice and thunder naturally. Rem can imbue fire, ice, and thunder. Rem can be a pure healer. Ace has lots of utility. So I guess this was more to show Ace and Rem as opposed to that stupidly easy fight. But yep, there we go. Didn't really have much else to do this week, so I figured I'd put a video of something out. There you go. Hope it's been entertaining. Hopefully Global brings these series boss battles, even if they're a total joke. At least it's something to do. I mean, come on. Give them to us. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.